Hey everybody! Oh god, run! Okay. False start! Hey everybody! Welcome to the Northern Lion Live Binding of Isaac Challenge Run. This is not actually live, I just have my commentary completely set on autopilot. This is a recorded episode, don't worry, you didn't miss anything. This is going to be an interesting run. It is a Team Fortress 2 themed run again. This is Demoman V2, suggested by 6mang 0craft9, which is, to say the least, a very interesting name. We have Dr. Fetus. That is going to approximate the grenade launcher of the Demoman from Team Fortress 2. We have Remote Detonator, which is going to approximate the sticky bomb launcher. And what's really interesting, actually, is watch this. So normally, if I fire a bomb with Dr. Fetus, it just explodes. But if I fire a bomb with Dr. Fetus that walk out of the room and then come back in, it becomes something that we can remote detonate, like so, which is kind of interesting. I noticed that myself 100% holistically. Probably not going to come in handy too much during this episode, but it's neat to know anyway. We have Sacrificial Dagger, which is going to approximate the Eyelander, which is like the sword that he uses, if I remember correctly, if you so choose. I mean, obviously there is a bottle as well. And we also have Pyro, which just approximates having 99 bombs, essentially, and allows us to use the remote detonator with a little bit of efficacy. So, we're going to be trying to beat Blue Baby on this run. Run might seem a little bit overpowered. Of course, we get bombs in the room there. Run might seem a little bit overpowered. Obviously, we're playing as CAIN because the Demoman has an eye patch in the game as well. But I hope this run's a little bit overpowered because I've been getting my ass kicked in the Binding of Isaac lately. And my hope is that this will allow us to reverse our fortunes a little bit. And hopefully allow us to come out of the doldrums that I've unfortunately fallen into when it comes to succeeding at the Binding of Isaac. I've had not terrible runs. But at the same time, I have run into a lot of trouble, particularly against Isaac himself, and this is a very good run for dealing with that. Either way, this run is going to be over quickly, for better or worse, essentially. We might as well go into the shop here, just in case there was something awesome. Yeah, you know what? I will pay 2 cents for a little bit of added security, I think. And actually, let's look for the secret room as well to see if I can maybe go to, or get the map in there. Sadly, it doesn't appear to be in there. Maybe it is. Wait a minute. It was in there? I just missed with the first bomb, apparently. Yeah, one way or the other, I'm going to find you. I'm going to get you. We're going to lose, or we're going to win in record time, I'm assuming. Dr. Fetus is not necessarily a guaranteed victory, especially when you start with low health. This is actually a really, really shitty first boss to be fighting. Because, remember, we can only take stat upgrades. CAIN's got very little health, but sadly we cannot pick up the pony because it is not a stat upgrade. So I say we just go down to the next floor and continue trying to ply our trade. Unfortunately, if we start taking some damage, that's going to be a really rough thing to deal with for us. Luckily, I did not get hit there, which kind of surprises me. I guess I'm out of spider range. I kind of want to use Sacrificial Dagger. Oh my god, don't die in the worst way possible. So stat upgrades, that includes all health upgrades, obviously, and anything that has like an all-stat upgrade would be the best example, I guess, of something that I would really like to see. Whore of Babylon is an interesting choice that would not affect us at all. And we have a Spirit Heart in here, which I'm going to buy because I'm a little bit concerned about my health. Of course, you know, every time I hit myself, I will lose essentially the value of one Spirit Heart. I can't imagine Wrath possibly paying out in a way that would interest me. I think Wrath's health must vary depending on the floor. Actually, he did give me a heart here. It seems like when Wrath fired, like when he fired that bomb, it became a remote detonator that I could use. But I need to learn to use my bombs and the remote detonator effectively in conjunction with the Dr. Fetus elements here, which are obviously going to be the money maker for me, like literally in this case, because I am able to get this money as a result. But I'm concerned about this run. It might seem like I should be more confident, but it's going to be very interesting to see how this turns out. Again, I would love to find a way to use that information I've gleaned about Dr. Fetus and the remote detonator in conjunction with one another. I guess what I could have done there, blown up the door and then immediately just started tossing bombs in and then just blown them up when I was at a safe distance when I came through again. Okay, we're CAIN, so pills are good. Speed up is totally adequate. This worries me a great deal. We're probably going to lose our Spirit Heart here. Yes, indeed we did. But at least we had it in the first place, so we're going to have a better chance for survival. And hey, someone up there likes me. Now, we will look for a secret room as well. In fact, we should look for all secret rooms. Not just the first one, but the second one as well. To possibly give us more health if necessary, more chances of survival. Oh my god, I just blew myself up and lost the Spirit Heart. Okay, that's something that is a danger of happening repeatedly, and it worries me a great deal. But let's be diligent here. Get money, well, blow up the slot machine instead. Get hearts, we don't need yet, but might need later. And really, really, I just want an HP upgrade from this boss fight. That's all we need. If we just stack HP for the rest of the game, we should win. But we're unlikely to get it. Obviously, we can't replace our spacebar item also. That's the other condition of this run that I have not mentioned because I think it's kind of implied by now. Whenever you start with a spacebar item, it's unlikely that a challenge run is ever going to allow you to get rid of it, because otherwise it would kind of defeat the purpose of starting with it, for the most part. There have probably been exceptions that I just can't think of right now. One more hit will do it, and that is it. We do get an HP upgrade. We get a deal with the devil as well. If there's stat upgrades in here, I suppose we could take them. But is that really worth it? I guess not, because, you know, already we're Guppy's Paw, I guess, is that a stat upgrade? It increases our Spirit Heart stat. Thank God that killed those dudes. And we really, the negative here is that I would love to have a familiar to deal with things like these spiders, but instead I'm just going to have to use effective dodging and sacrificial dagger, I suppose. By the way, I knew I was going to do this run for a little while once I saw it in the top comments. That's why I've been doing a couple vanilla runs lately, because I try to strike a good balance. I know there's some people out there that say, like, you know, whenever there's a run where you can't get many items, like, Isaac loses a little bit of its luster for me, and I totally understand that. Again, that's why I'm trying to balance a couple of vanilla runs where there's a lot of variability, shall we say, with a couple of runs like this where things are a little bit more set in stone, because it's always nice to have kind of creative challenge runs as well, but it's nice to have, don't get me wrong, I understand the value in having, you know, the item actually play a role in your success as well. I feel like I gotta do like a drive-by thing here, unless I can do a great diagonal shot, which is harder than it looks, I assure you. That one might work. Ow, wow, it did, okay. I really did not expect that. Even, I guess, going diagonally is something that's going to play a larger role than I expected. We don't want, we might want the money. I mean, there's no reason not to get it, I suppose. So maybe I'll come back in here and just try to place this bomb accordingly and completely fuck it up and then leave, I guess. Let's try this again. Nope, didn't quite botch that one as badly as I thought I did. And really, I'm just looking for the shop and the item room on this one, because, I mean, not even the item room, because the item room is unlikely to be that useful for me. But hey, now we can actually see where everything is, so I should absolutely go to the secret room. There is a boss trap room, which I probably can't get value out of, sadly. But the secret room could be incredibly valuable, and this amount of money is actually really useful. I think we're going to be okay until at least... I mean, the thing is, if we beat Mom, that's great, because Mom's going to be one of the tougher fights, because we obviously can't get close to her. If we... Let's use a bomb here instead of using our fetus in a jar. That's something I should have probably clued into a little bit earlier. Yeah, if we beat Mom, we're probably going to be alright for at least a little while. That was a little scary. I thought I might have been too close there. But if we beat Mom, we should be alright for at least a little while, because Mom's heart is going to be a no-brainer, and our strength is probably going to lie on these kind of crowd control rooms for the most part. But if we run into serious trouble before Mom, we might actually end up losing to Mom, because it's going to be a fight that requires some creativity in all likelihood. So these, I'm starting to see the value of the remote detonator here, don't get me wrong. Had a feeling we'd be fighting greed at some point. At the very least, if this gives me enough money to guarantee me an item from shops on every floor throughout the rest of the game, then I am a-okay with fighting greed just this once. Well, it actually only gave us like 5 cents and a bomb, which is largely worthless. But in any case... having that world card speeds things up a lot. Let's just move onwards and hopefully make some good shit happen here, basically. 2 item rooms. I only have 1 key, so I guess we'll choose wisely. Oh, use bombs wisely, more like. Use Maz wisely, more like. Okay, so I ended up hurting myself a little bit there in order to kill the spiders, because the spiders are the biggest pain in the ass. Health up, please. Friends till the end. That's actually pretty beneficial if we come across a room with some asshole spiders in it. You know, I'm not trying to insult all... arachnids, but seriously, like, work with me here. Let's check out this item room. That is not an HP upgrade. Mom's Contact would have interesting effects with Fetus in a Jar, assuming they synergize at all. And sadly, we are going to have the Fallen, which I believe is incredibly unlikely to give me a stat upgrade. Which is really unfortunate, because, you know, otherwise, you know, given the Pony and the Fallen this early, on a vanilla run, this would have been a pretty sweet setup of items. It is a rage upgrade. It's like a damage upgrade. That's what I was thinking. And, you know, Cuban Meat is also, sadly, not a stat upgrade. So the game's trolling me a little bit. It's at least making me work for it. I don't even know if our damage is going to increase as a result of Rage, you know, with what we've got going on here. We will pick up the Spirit Heart. What does the deal with the Angel Room have? Holy Grail is, health upgrades. That's a stat upgrade, and it allows us to fly. I realize I might be skirting the line of what is acceptable behavior here. But genuinely, I think you could make the case that this is a stat upgrade. It's primarily a flying item, probably, but it also carries a stat upgrade akin or alongside of it. So I think it's a-okay, but obviously a lot of people might feel differently about that. We are on Necropolis 1, and now I'm feeling a lot better about our chances, because the ability to fly basically makes us defensively not quite idiot-proof. Oh, you know what? I was just realizing... If I actually, let's take this pill first. Health up, that's beautiful. If I actually use the remote detonator after I fire a fetus in a jar, I can cause the bombs to explode when I want, as long as when I want is before the actual detonation time. That's really cool, actually. That's going to save me a lot of hassle, because now instead of waiting for a bomb to explode and having an enemy possibly get out of my range, I can just blow it up whenever I want. That is awesome. And that's going to save me a lot of fucking trouble as we move onwards here. Our boss room contains some interesting things. We will pick up friends till the end. We will buy the key, we will buy this, and we will also buy the money. We can't really buy... I mean, we could buy Book of Revelations and just play it once, but I don't know if that's necessarily worth it in the long run. And at this point, I'm starting to feel much stronger, basically just by virtue of having that newfound technique that I had no idea about before. That extra money is unlikely to come in handy, but may. So we'll take some of it, I guess, because you know, beggars can be choosers, apparently. I did blow up the slot machine, and then I'm like, oh, the slot machine I blew up only gave me money. I don't like that. Again, the fact that we can blow up these bombs on command, as long as it's before they would explode normally. Like, otherwise they're going to explode regardless. Why would I do that? That was real silly. I should have... The reason I think that's really silly is because oh my god, I felt like I should have saved the key for the item room. But, oh well. Again, we've learned enough on this floor that we're probably still going to be okay, at least in the medium term here. It's a damn shame, though, that there's no... secret room attached to this item room, which would allow me to continue. Why am I getting so many bombs? I had the opportunity to pick up the matchstick, if I remember correctly, and I passed it up for basically exactly the reason that you would expect. Maybe there's a secret room here. There is not, unless I totally botched that. Pinky's eye is going to have interesting effects on our bombs. I'm not even sure if that will give us poison bombs. If it does, then, you know, all the better, but... I don't think that it does, so I accidentally triggered that neutral fly. I'd say we're basically good to just... Oh, it does give poison damage, I think. I'd say we're basically good to just go to the boss room, then. And you know what? To be quite honest with you, we can probably just continue going to the boss room until the end of the game. We're definitely in potential speedrun territory at this point. The amount of bombs I'm getting, contrasted with the amount of keys I'm getting, is downright fucking absurd at this point. But as long as they keep giving me spirit hearts, I will shut my mouth, because I know what's good for me. So, let's start firing out some bombs here. And we're only doing one boss this time, which is a damn shame, because I would love to speed things up a little bit. Hopefully we can... I guess we can't pick up the map with the compass, can we? Because that would be... I was going to say a conflict of interest, but it would just be in conflict with the challenge run suggestions. And the really good thing about this remote detonator synergy here is that it allows me to fire way more bombs at a much quicker pace than I would otherwise be able to do. Which is normally the mitigating factor. That's an HP upgrade. With Fetus in a Jar is like, oh, I can't fire so many bombs, so that's how much damage I can do. Relic is not a stats upgrade no matter how I try to swing it. But the fact that I can just detonate them on command right now basically means that I can fire as many bombs as I want and thus do as much damage as quickly as I possibly can. This completely changes the strategy. And of course the ability to fly makes it much easier as well. If only we had Mr. Mega or something, sadly. You know, I guess you can't always get what you want. I wonder, can we still get hit by that bomb if Chad has swallowed it? Which came out much more awkwardly than I imagined it being. Again, sadly, without any keys whatsoever, it's not really in the cards for us to go to either the shop or the item room. So if we find the boss room, I feel confident enough to just kind of go with it. Especially the item room tends to be pretty unlikely to be a good payout, considering we can only take stat upgrades. But, you know, we're kind of beyond the point of intellectual analysis. We're doing so well that we can kind of turn the brain on autopilot until we get down to... I was going to say Necropolis, but I guess I already put the brain on autopilot, because that is totally wrong. But until we get down to maybe the Womb, maybe the Cathedral, and I think this might finally be our run where we beat Isaac. It might be cheating a little bit, but still... We did beat Isaac recently on another challenge run, I think, as well. So this is not technically getting over the hump, but anything that gives me more confidence is likely to make me improve my play in the future. Although I am hurting myself a little bit here, more than I would like to. I hate that these guys still accept more than one bomb. Like, they take the bomb on the chin, but then they just lose their neck. They don't lose anything else. Again, without any keys. That was pretty silly, but I think it's time for us to fight Mom. And you know what we're going to do on this fight? We're going to completely revise our strategy and just start dropping bombs down here wherever we can. And we're going to use these as crowd control, but we're also going to use these as the way to damage Mom. So, you know, that was a bad example of doing that. But... that was a better example, perhaps. This is a much more... I'm using parts of my brain that I have not used in quite some time to make this fight work for me. This one should work as well. I'm taking a lot of damage. This is actually really scary. I could end up losing here. I don't want to end up losing here. Actually, it feels like the fetus in a jar bombs do more damage. Maybe that's a pinky eye thing. Maybe I'll just try to explode them this way and make this work, because that funky strategy I was using before appears to have been fool's mate to a certain extent. We probably need like 2 more hits, and 1 more should do it, maybe here. Alright, fine. That was not great. We lost a lot of health, but we managed to pick up a speed upgrade and the Polaroid, so Pinky's eye sadly no longer with us. Alright, let's make some good stuff happen down here. I'm hoping that is the hardest boss fight that we're going to deal with until at least... That didn't kill him. Until at least Isaac. It's not the likeliest thing in the world. It depends who we're fighting. If we end up fighting, like, Blast Assist, that's good. If we end up fighting Pin, that's... Oh, can we even fight Pin? Pin's on the first floor. Sorry, I meant Skolex. People are always like, there was a video recently where I like accidentally referred to Gemini as Steven, and they're like, oh god, it's been like 499 episodes, how could you not know that Gemini is Gemini at this point? And I'm like, dude, have you ever made like a mistake on a math test or something? Like you get a test back and you're sure you did well, and then you're like, oh, I did pretty well, but I got this one question wrong, really stupidly, that I knew the answer to. That's exactly what it is. Like, it shit happens to the best of us, man. I know that most of you are reasonable, but come on. You hold your YouTube commentators to too high of a standard. Put yourself under the magnifying glass now and then, and realize that all people make mistakes, even mistakes with stuff they do all the damn time. So let's just pretend it never happened. No hard feelings for either of us. Maybe a little bit harder for me than from you. That's what your girlfriend said too. Hi-oh! Okay, that's just mean. I apologize. And perhaps a little bit crass as well. And probably not true either. Who knows, man, is what I'm trying to get at. Let's just toss a bomb down here and we'll trick Diglett into coming down here. He's being kind of a dickhole about it right now. I can't believe that didn't work. Really, man? I already killed your brother. There we go. So we've reached yet another dead end. That guy seriously took a straight bomb on the chin and still did not die. Took a licking and kept on ticking. Do we have the boss room? We do indeed. This is actually really good, even though I just took some of the dumbest damage that I've taken in a long time. This floor is going to be over quickly. Mom's Heart should be the easiest boss fight, maybe of the entire game. Did we not already fight Bloat? Am I missing something here? Double Bloats all the way across the sky? This Bloat can shoot lasers, I think. I'm always confused, because there's various champion versions of Bloat. Each one with, yes, their own unique thing that makes them dickish in their own way. I guess this guy is just that he throws green bombs, which is annoying. But hey, HP upgrade, Spirit Heart, and Regular Heart, that's good. So we are down to the next floor with hope in our heart and the fire alive, basically. The fire alive is... That was probably the worst Bane impression I think I've ever done. More Spirit Hearts, beautiful. And I didn't even pick up the Relic or the Miner. Well, I also just offered up a Spirit Heart at the altar of the Spirit Heart Lords to placate them, I suppose. Unlimited keys for this floor is unlikely to be useful unless we come across a lot of golden chests. Sadly, the virus is not a statistical upgrade, at least from my understanding. But what do I know? I picked up Holy Grail. Man, you can complain all you want. Holy Grail is a stats upgrade. It is not a, like, vanilla stats upgrade. Like, it doesn't simply contain stat upgrades, but one of the benefits is a stat upgrade. So, you know, na-na-na-boo-boo, suck on that, basically. It literally has an HP upgrade embedded inside of it. Same with Fate. Like, if Fate showed up, I would act exactly the same way. And probably, you know, I'm assuming get the same reaction. But, let's murder these dudes, and then we'll be able to fight Mom's Heart, which I expect, like I said a little bit earlier, is probably going to be one of the easiest fights of the entire game. Assuming my range is to the point where I can stand on one side of the map and just fire bombs basically directly into the middle, which I think I can. Now, I took some damage there. That was almost by design, just to speed this up a little bit. Remember, with, I fucked this up a little bit, but with the remote detonator, I should be able to, like, basically fire these bombs after it would otherwise be okay to fire it, and then I can just still make it work just by getting them to land at exactly the right time, like so, and then just shoving them in there. I think we're going to be totally fine, maybe even through to Isaac, unless I run into some seriously dickish rooms in the cathedral. Vaginal bomb flies might present a serious problem to me, but I'm not 100% sure about that, to be honest with you. We're killing Mom's Heart as Duke of Flies is still alive, which is a pretty good turnaround, all things considered. Might create some laser bullet flies, but actually did not, so it is time for us to go up to the next level. We haven't really gotten much in the way of tinted, or, well, yes, we haven't gotten much in the way of tinted rocks. We will now, but we haven't gotten much in the way of oh, I can't believe I didn't get hit by that laser. I deserve to get hit by that laser. But we haven't gotten much of the way of pills or tarot cards, which is unusual, to say the least. And we're just going to keep tossing some bombs in here. I've got them right where I want them, basically. Oh my god, could you not just explode one more time? There we go. We're back to full health, and our secret room contains a slot machine. Not really that interested, to be quite honest with you. Now, I just did that to clear a path so I didn't accidentally take the dumbest damage of all time. Extra bombs, probably unlikely to come in handy. But I like this position because we're almost at the point where I'm pretty sure we could tank Isaac and still be totally fine. Which is a valuable point to be at if we're going to try to make the chest work as well. And you know what? This death card may actually come in serious degrees of handy. I don't know if that sentence made any sense at all. But in taking out some more asshole-ish enemies that are particularly tough if you have fetus in a jar, like the spiders, or vaginal bomb flies, for example, who should be one-shotted by this, I believe. Anyway, a couple more shots in here, and we should be good to go with Loki. We've reached a dead end, but, you know, you can't always get what you want. That key is going to make the chest more worthwhile, although really at this point, again, all I can take are HP and stat upgrades. So, who knows, man. I'm kind of sick of fighting Monstro 2 at this point. I will not lie to you on that one. But he's an easy fight, provided we do things the right way. That was very much the wrong way. What I should really do with 93 bombs is just kind of set up one of these, and then totally botch it at the last second. Seriously, just shoot at me again, the way that we used to. Monstro, you never shoot at me the way that you used to. That one might not hit him even. Alright, so I've totally, like, botched this miserably and continue to take a staggering amount of damage. I'm very tempted to use this death card, which would probably be a very silly mistake at this point, but 2 more hits should be enough. 1 more hit, just don't jump. Okay, we made it work. That was a terrible fight. I don't deserve any accolades for that. 2 keys to, 1 key to open this up, I think is fair. Range upgrade. That's a stat upgrade, sure. I was kind of hoping for more HP, but we'll deal with it. Now just don't... This is where the moment begins. I really did not want to take any damage there. This is where things get interesting. I should have been able to kill him there. Because we're going to have our Isaac fight. So I think we're going to be able to make this happen. If anything, I'm probably going to end up using my death card when the angel fetuses first start showing up. Obviously, this run synergizes very well with taking out Isaac because he's not going to be able to shoot very often. So we're going to have, like, a pretty quick time here. Obviously, Mr. Mega or Brother Bobby or Brother Bob-omb. Bobby Bob-omb? Ba-ba-bow. Anyway, that is just mindless brain babble at this point. He's basically firing, like, 1 shot every 2 minutes, which makes him almost an easier boss fight than, like, Larry Jr. or something in the early game. The fact that he's barely shooting, more like barely Jr. The fact that he's barely shooting actually makes this pretty much a no-brainer, which is kind of how I feel right now. Mental energy's a little exhausted, but that's what makes this a good fit for a challenge run right now. That was super easy. Let's go down and fight the chest. I really don't see anything stopping us here. Let's see what we've got here. Infestation. We have a bomb upgrade, a D6, and a razor blade. Well, what we could, but if I do that, it'll reroll remote detonator, which I can't do. All right, so we'll truck along as normal. Unfortunately, because I was looking forward to getting something there. Homing bombs, I would love to take them, but they're not stat upgrades, and I'm trying to be a little bit more real about the rules of the challenge run. I'm getting murked by these spiders, so I just popped my death card to clear them out quickly. It's not going super well for me. I'm actually low on health. We might not be able to beat this run. Please let that be a 2 of hearts at this point. 2 of hearts is what I want. There we go. It is 2 of diamonds. Yeah, sweet. Take me to 90 cents. I got a lot of places where I can spend that right now. Don't get hit here. This is a frustrating room as well because the AIDS poop is going to be a total pain in the ass to deal with, as it always is. Especially with fetus in a jar. Oh, I did not expect to take damage there. We might actually lose this one. And if so, I have nobody to blame but myself. And oh my god, 1 more hit will kill us. We're gonna die, like, right here. I realize I'm sounding a bit like this is a foregone conclusion, but seriously, I'm just surprised that I've managed to put myself in this position. Holy shit. So much for me being cocky. I mean, we did pick up... Looks like we picked up 4 pyros there. That's really weird. But in any case, thank you to 6mang0craft9 for that challenge run suggestion. At the very least, I got over the hump of beating Isaac, but man, things got tough down in the chest. I think it's been a while since I've been there with a legitimate run, so, my difficulty barometer in my head is all effed up. But in any case, continue suggesting your own challenge runs. I will do the ones that are most entertaining or appropriate, and as always, thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time.